Hello and welcome back to another episode of Talking with Tapolci. I'm your host, Jason Tapolci. Last week we spoke about managing DIDs and how to efficiently do that to save yourself time in your day. And we talked a little bit about empowering your end user the week before, allowing them to take some of the heavy lifting off of your plate, freeing up your time. So if you haven't seen either one of those episodes, definitely check them out. You can find them on our blog. And if you could, share them on your social media or your spheres of influence. We'd really appreciate it. This week, we were going to talk about SMS, but I decided to change it up. I wanted to talk more about number porting, or LNP, local number porting. And the reason I did that was I was able to secure from the porting department here at VoIP Innovations a promo for people that watch this video. And essentially the promo is going to be free number porting for as many numbers as you want and no activation fees. We usually charge $1 activation fee, and we're willing to waive that. And our number porting fee is usually $8, and we're going to go ahead and waive that just because you watched our video. And to be honest, it's a little incentive for you guys as well. So at the end of the video, you're going to see the promo code pop up along the bottom. Simply write it down, and when you go into the VoIP Innovations back office and you open up a new port submission, you'll see a place for the discount code. And if for whatever reason the discount code doesn't go through, you can put a billing dispute in with our billing department, and they'll make sure that we waive those charges for you. So let's get started. Number porting is a very important part of our world. However, the VoIP world, the voice over IP world, is not as efficient in number porting as, say, the mobile world. We've all gone, or we've switched from AT&T to Verizon, or from Verizon to whoever, and you can pretty much switch there right at the office and get your new phone and walk home. Unfortunately, it's not that easy in the VoIP world. So what we've done at VoIP Innovation is we've really thought through the process, and we used what's called 2-second lean, and I'm writing an ebook about that, which will be coming out over the next month, and it's about how to streamline the process to eliminating any of the waste. And so one of the first steps you want to take when you want to port a number is to go to your carrier and find out if it's portable. And what I mean by that is, do they have the coverage that fits wherever that number is? And the second thing is features. Not only can they cover that, but can they offer the features that you need for that particular DID? So for example, you might want SMS capabilities, or you may want T38 or fax. And so when you go to check for portability, do they cover it, and do they have the features that you need to satisfy what you promised your customers? So those are two of the first important parts. The second one is to be able to choose your carrier. Most VoIP providers today buy from multiple upstream carriers. They're usually your typical level 1, level 2, or tier 1, tier 2 carriers. And what you want to find out is, can I choose who my upstream carrier is? That's very important. A lot of companies, they will say the number's portable, and they put it on whatever the cheapest carrier is for them. They want to make the biggest margins. You know, we do it a little bit differently. We want you to be able to choose what carrier you would like that service to be on. And we give you a carrier ranking system that allows you to take a look at how well the carrier performs on number porting itself, but how well it's performed on origination or DIDs. And we track uptime and things of that nature. So that's very important that you have that choice, and not only have the choice, but you have the correct data to make the right choice. And then next is paperless. In our world, everything was paper. It was, you fill out a letter of authorization, we called an LOA, and it was filled out here at the desk, and then it was faxed or emailed or even mailed, snail mailed to the provider. And this leaves an opening for a lot of wrong information and it being rejected, which makes the process start all over again. And that's why you'll see in the VoIP world companies having 30 to 45 day turnarounds on number porting. At VoIP Innovations, we got it down to less than 15 days by eliminating all that waste. And with the paperless LOA, that allows you to fill out that information. If it's filled out incorrectly, meaning that you forgot a step, or maybe the syntax was wrong on something you put in there in the zip code, instead of putting all the numbers in the zip code, you left one out or put too many in. it will not let you submit it. So it makes you fix all that. So we know that when we get the information, it's going to be right. You also want to have a good management system. When you're porting one number, okay, it's not so bad. When you're porting hundreds or thousands, you need to know, and when those hundreds or thousands of numbers are coming from multiple carriers, going to multiple carriers, it can get real messy and things can get lost, which can make the process even longer. So what we've built was, and I'll show you this here in a minute, we've built this system that allows you to track and manage each one of those very efficiently and keep an eye on it. Anytime anything gets changed, it goes from this status to that status, you get an email, you get alerted in the back office. So that's very important. The next thing, and it's not the last thing, but it is the last thing, but it's not the least important. It's the most important. You want to have subject matter experts. That's what we hire here. We call them SMEs. We hire somebody that matches our core values. I point up here because that's every office in this company has the core values on the wall, and we hire around those core values. So when we hire somebody for number porting, we want somebody that's detail oriented. We want somebody that's caring, that is going to understand the customer's pain and help them get through it. We want somebody that can think on their feet, that can make better improvements in the process to make it even faster. So these people, we consider them to be very important members of our company, and we believe in them so much that we allow each member to almost run like their own porting department. Each member can run a port from beginning to end, whereas a lot of companies, bigger companies especially, somebody will do submissions, somebody will do rejects or jeopardies, somebody will do falk dates, and what happens, we find, is that you're passing the baton to different people, and that customer isn't getting that same warm and fuzzy. Whereas at VoIP Innovations, when we assign a person to a number port and takes the whole way through, we find they're a little bit more invested. So those are some of the things that you need to look at when you're looking for a carrier to port numbers. And I want to go ahead and show you those now in the back office. And if you have any questions, we're always open. The number porting team can answer any of the questions, or the support team. And please look out for that promo. Okay, so here we are. We're in the back office of VoIP Innovations, and I'm at the main dashboard. This would be the screen that you first come to once you log in. And I'm going to go head over to the porting dashboard. And while we're doing that, each menu option is going to have its own dashboard, which will give you metrics or data about that particular function of the VoIP Innovations network. So here we have the porting dashboard, and as you're going to notice, there's no ports. We don't port anything to ourselves. This is our demo account, so you're not going to see any data in here, but you get a good idea of what this will show you. You have a good you can see your porting active ports, your porting soon, ports with your firm order commitment or the falk date, ports that are in jeopardy, and so forth. And this is neat because we made it very flexible. We know everybody uses the back office differently, so we made it so you can move around different widgets. You can delete different widgets, and then you can choose from a whole group of widgets here to add into there. So, and we'll go into porting. We'll add in port totals. So we'll go there, click Add Widget, and there you go. And I want to put that back over here because I like it to be semi-symmetrical. So that is your dashboard. It is meant to give you control over your company. As our brand promises, our choice, automation, and control. This is the control piece. We want you to very quickly be able to see what ports you have in progress and what the status is. Next, you're going to find that you're going to want to, if you're going to port a number, the first thing I recommend doing is checking to see if you can port it. Is it provisionable, as we say? So I'll type in a number here, and as you can see, I can enter a number or numbers, plural, one on each line, or I can upload a list as well. And I'm going to need outbound CNAM, and I want 411 directory listing, and I don't care what carrier it's on, so I'm going to choose all the carriers. And let's see if there's availability. So as you can see, there is availability on multiple carriers. There's Cortel, Earthlink, Level 3 Special, and then the Level 3 Vector platform. The Level 3 Special is simply a special that we're running right now for 25-cent DIDs, and you can port into that. It's going to give you the rate center, the state, the LATA, what features it offers. We didn't choose T38, but we see if we get these level 3 numbers, we also get that feature. So that's important to note. And we also get the SMS feature as well. The tier and is it portable. So once you've gone through and checked to see if it is portable, it might help to go through. We have instructions here on how to port a number, and it's very simple, but it wouldn't hurt to check that out before you go ahead and port your number. Once you've done that, you're going to want to go ahead and come into where you start a port, submit a port, or submit LMP. So if you click that, it's going to open up this page right here, and this is going to give you the 3 steps that are associated with submitting an LOA, a letter of authorization. And keep in mind that most LOAs are paper format. In the VoIP world, we've made ours paperless. It takes away much of the incorrect data, or data that's put in wrong, or data that wasn't filled out to begin with. It'll prompt the user, hey, you forgot to add this or fill out this form, and that can save days, if not weeks, of back and forth paperwork trails. And then we also have some other rules, the rules of porting a number with VoIP Innovations, and you just agree to those. And there's a whole list of things you can fill out. Now, I'm not going to do that here because it would take us way too long, but we'll go down through real quickly. This is going to be your port information, your porting information, your end user information. I might as well tell you this is your customer information, whoever the person submitting the port is. You're going to have service address information, 911 information, if it's going to have 911 on that particular number, and is it a wireless subscriber? The local telephone block entries to port maximum numbers of 49. So if you're going to port up to 49 telephone numbers, this is where you would add them all in. If you're going to port more than 49 telephone numbers, we have what we call project porting specialist who will handle that and walk you through and analyze the pricing and all the great things that come with what we call bulk porting. And then lastly, if it's toll-free or not, put some notes. And if you have a discount code, we run a lot of port discounts, and they're in the back office, they're on our blogs, they're all over the place in advertisements, so we encourage you on our social media. We encourage you to follow us or like us, connect with us, and then kind of keep an eye on our blog, and you'll see some great specials. And then once you're done, you go ahead and submit, and that'll take you to the third and final step. It's basically a screen. It's going to say, is all this information right, and then it's submitted. So once you've submitted your port, your number port management becomes the most difficult part of porting. Besides filling out the form accurately, managing multiple ports, hundreds, sometimes thousands of ports from multiple customers, coming from multiple losing carriers, going to multiple winning carriers on our network, this can become a jumbled mess. So what we did is we spent a lot of time developing our port management system. So I'm going to go ahead and here and click on all ports. But as you can see, you can click on active ports, ports in jeopardy, soon to port, ports with FOC, ports without a FOC, and completed ports. And those will show you, obviously, the particular one you pick. And here, once you're into your ports, to view your port statuses, you're going to see your port ID, the company name, which is yours, your company name, and then the end user's name. You're going to also see the telephone number you're porting. If it's multiple telephone numbers, you can click on it and see multiple telephone numbers that are associated on there. You're going to find the local or the billing telephone number, the BTN. That's one of the most important functions of porting numbers. The status, the port date, the date created and last updated. And you can see you can view this by 10, 20, 25, or 50 rows. And so this makes it very easy. Let's go ahead and click into one of these ports and see what it looks like. And our data here with the ad base is so old that it's having to go back onto our archive server to pull up this data, because this stuff happened in our world quite some time ago. If you're a customer and you're in our active database, which all of our active ports are in, it wouldn't take so long there. But as you can see, once you're in this port, we see that this is port 1540. we can see that these are the numbers that are on here. We know the endpoint that it's going on to. We have the port details, porting notes, and then the request details. One of the things I want to keep it or make a note of, it's very important, is if you can get a copy of the bill, that's huge, and you can upload the copy of the bill right here, and it'll stay on this port. And if you have access to the customer service record, also known as the CSR, you can also upload that. Those two items significantly help our porting specialists, our subject matter experts, which we call port experts, in moving numbers, your number quickly. Down here, as far as the port details, to get into this stuff, you're going to see this gives you the FOC date. It's going to give you all the high level of what you filled out on that online LOA. And then anytime we or you, as the user, put any notes or status changes from has a FOC date to completed, it will show up in here. Every time one of our subject matter experts, one of our porting experts, makes any changes to any of your ports, you will get an email and your back office will be updated as well. And we do this to keep you well in the loop, and it helps to facilitate things. It's also important to know that most companies, it's between 15 and 45 days. If it's 45 days, that's too long. If it's 30 days, they're getting on the border of taking too long. You want to be somewhere between 15 and 20 days on average per port. Now, I want to hop back over to network rankings here. This is the last thing. I should have showed you this earlier, but that's okay. I'll show you now. These are all the carriers that we can port to. As you know, as our brand promises state, we provide choice, automation, and control, and so we allow you to choose your underlying carrier, whereas some other wholesale VoIP providers, they will assign you the underlying carrier that fits your number or your area or your request best. We let you pick that, and we created a user ranking. And what that essentially does is the system ranks itself. We look at the average time to port a number, completed porting rank, okay, the average time to port, okay, the percent of ports that they got overall. So like you can see, level 3 gets 37.9% of all ports. You can see the user ranking, what the user has rated them or ranked them, and then the average user ranking, total user ranking, and then the stars where you can rank yourself. So feel free that if you had a great experience, we want to know that, and we encourage you to give them a 5-star or 4-star. If you had a bad experience, then we want to know that, because what we end up doing is looking at these rankings, and the bottom 20%, we circle back with them and give them a progress report and require them to make adjustments to the way they port to make it more efficient for our end users or our customers. And then also, too, if you highlight over top of any one of these, we'll do level 3 here, you're going to see the overall, the origination ranking, you're going to see the termination ranking, you're going to see the porting ranking, and if you click here, you're going to be able to go and see the ranking of all of our providers that we use, whether they're termination, origination, or local origination, toll-free, and the porting rankings. So it's just something neat that we empower to give you choice. We want you to make a wise choice. So that is it for what we see here in the back office as far as number porting. I appreciate you guys listening, and I hope you learned something. And by always check out our blog, blog.voipinnovations.com. You can find a lot of great information there. And if you haven't subscribed, please do that. And also, we ask that you either follow us or like us. Find us on social media, because we put out a lot of great content out there that's helpful, and a lot of discount codes as well. So thanks again for joining us. My name is Jason Tapolci.